What's going on, guys? So, an important topic came up with one of my clients, shout out Regina, on how to enjoy the holidays when you're trying to lose weight. Now, this is going to be some advice that I've used myself and that I've seen other fitness professionals use and what they say on their clients, and this is what we found what works best. Now, as we know, let's just talk for a second on how do we gain fat, how do we lose fat. Your body burns a certain amount of calories per day. If you eat more than it burns, you're going to be in a calorie surplus, which means you're going to put on body fat. If you're in a calorie deficit or eating less calories than your body burns, you're going to be losing body fat. So with that in consideration, the actual food that you're eating doesn't really matter that much. So one of the most important things that you can do is around the holidays is to track your calorie intake, because then you can be a little bit more flexible with it. Now, that is the foundation, and it is really important that you're also eating high micronutrient food with a lot of fiber and protein. So usually what I like to say is if you can eat 2 servings of fruit and vegetables a day, and you can eat at least 0.7 grams per pound of body weight. So if you weighed 100 pounds, I would say try to eat at least 70 grams of protein per day. So it could probably be anywhere between 70 to 100 grams of protein. That's usually a good amount. Along with like about 20 to 35 grams of fiber per day. And if you can make those guidelines along with eating the being in the calorie deficit, you could pretty much eat what you want. And now, I'm not saying that on Thanksgiving you need to be there with like a food scale and weighing everything on MyFitnessPal. That's not the idea. The idea is to actually enjoy the holiday itself. You see, one of the biggest issues, especially in America, is that there are so many holidays. Every freaking week or two that goes by, there's these holidays. And it's not just the holiday itself that becomes a problem. What becomes a problem is that there's a lot of food involvement, a lot of family get-togethers, friends get-together, multiple family get-togethers all across like, a 3-week period for Thanksgiving. People were partying on Halloween after Halloween. People do that. On birthdays, they come up. You have a friend that has a kid. All of a sudden, you're at their party and there's cake. That stuff is so easy to happen. But what happens is that you can't make all of that an excuse, and you have to keep your mind fixated on the target, which is you're trying to lose body fat, and you have to be committed to your goal. You can't just say, well, there's this cake here, I have to eat it. You don't really have to eat anything. Really, what you should do is track your calorie intake and be flexible around the days that are in the holiday season. If you're baking cookies with your family, try just having a few cookies and fitting them into your calories versus eating like 10 of them while watching TV. You have to be willing to make sacrifices in order for you to lose body fat. You see, maintaining your weight is way easier. And the good thing about it is that if you can just make your mindset fixated on that you're going to lose these last 15 pounds and you're going to do whatever it takes, then you will be able to do it. It's just going to require that you track your calorie intake and that you will be in that deficit. And just try to maintain that and get into the habit of tracking your calories. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but you're trying to change your lifestyle and you're trying to change your habits. And the easiest way to change your habits is to keep track of the foods that you're eating. That way you don't have to constantly think about it all the time. It is a little bit of work, but I'm telling you that with dedication you can do it. You got to just put your mind to it. And, this is why you see some people that they are just always on the money and they're seeing results. You see, this stuff takes a while, and it's very challenging to lose body fat. But if you can stay dedicated to it and understand what it is that you need to do to get there, you got to just stick to the plan. You got to stick to the plan. I'm always going to go about tracking your calorie intake and using MyFitnessPal. If you're a client of mine, if you use MyFitnessPal, I can see what you eat, and then we can talk about and discuss what it is that you should make switches on. Now, Around the holiday season, it is fairly difficult to abide, and stay disciplined because there's a lot of temptation around. So a few things that you can do is make sure that you're eating an adequate amount of fiber, fruits, and vegetables. So I'm coming back to that. 2 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, you're eating 20 to 35 grams of fiber, and you're drinking at least 3 to 5 liters of water a day, staying super hydrated. And a huge thing is sleep. Make sure that you're setting yourself up for success, and you're going to bed a little bit earlier in order to wake up at a decent time for whatever it is that you have to do. You have to do work, whatever. I understand that things happen at night, but and things come up and you want to get stuff done, whatever, you have to put your head down. You have to get some sleep and rest. You'll be able to accomplish what it is that you're trying to do way easier on more sleep than less sleep. It's just very, very important that these things come into line, because the problem is your body doesn't want to burn body fat. It's really hard, and it's very difficult because you see on Facebook and Instagram all these 14-day challenges. I lost 14 pounds in 14 days. First off, a lot of advertisements are bullcrap, and they actually will take already pre-used with another company's before and after, and they'll post, lose 20 pounds in 14 days so that you buy their product or you buy their program. And that can really mess with the minds, because its target audience is most than likely going to be you, who's just starting out working out, and you see this, and you've been maybe researching a few things, and those type of things come up on your Facebook and Instagram, because everything that you search on Google is going to pop up in an ad, because it's targeted that way. So that's why the companies can find who they're trying to sell their product to. So a lot of things are hard because there's a lot of temptations around you, but you have to just stay dedicated to your goal, and you have to just stick to it no matter how challenging it is. And you have to understand that the reward at the end is worth it. Challenge yourself, give yourself a time frame. I think that's really important. We talk about not doing 14-day challenges and stuff, but a time frame is a little bit different. We're looking at time just to keep us scheduled, just to keep us when is this going to become less stressful? Because like I said, it's easier to maintain your weight than it is to lose. So once you lose the weight, you will have an easier time maintaining it, most likely, unless you crash diet. You don't want to crash diet. You don't want to just cut all your calories out, and that's not going to do you any good. We have to just make sure that we're eating a quality amount of protein, a quality amount of fiber and nutrients, and staying in the calorie deficit. If you find yourself not losing weight, then there's 2 things that we can do. We can cut the calories, or we can work out more. And I'm always a big advocate of working out more. Take advantages. Try not to have days where you don't do anything. That's going to make such a huge difference. Go for a walk. Stretch for 15 minutes. After Thanksgiving, go for a walk with your family. After you guys have dinner, go for a walk. These little things add up. Take the stairs at work. Park far away. Get that extra walking in. Get that extra cardio in. Make sure that every single day you're doing something to get yourself closer to your goal. Every single day you should be doing some sort of exercise. Now, I'm not saying you need to go 105% 7 days of the week, 365 days a year. Not like that. But I mean that you should be doing something. You should be stretching. You should be working on your mobility. Maybe you just do a few bodyweight exercises. Maybe you should go for a walk, try to go on the bike, or make sure that if, let's say you're having an issue making your workouts, then you have to make your workouts more of a priority. You don't miss work because work is priority. You got to bump up working out on your priority list as well. Because if you don't work out, then being in that deficit is going to be really, really tough to do. And you're most likely just going to maintain your weight. So you got to try to stay consistent with your workouts. You got to stay consistent with your plans, and set yourself a time frame and set yourself a goal. How much do I want to lose? What do I want my measurements to be? What kind of outfit do I want to be in, and when do I want to get there by? What's the date? What's the date? And you got to that's the date. You mark it on your calendar. That's the date. You got to just mark it there, and we got to just get after it. Whether you're a client or you're not a client and you're watching this, you can comment down below and tell me your thoughts. I can always chat with you. You can always message me on the side, and I can give you advice. We're in this together. All of us, whoever's watching this, we're in this together. So let's just stay dedicated to our path. I know that it can be a little bit tough, but we gotta just go through it, understand what we gotta do. We gotta also, a big thing is to think about foods that you can live with and foods that you can't live without. And the foods that you can live with, you got to try to make those sacrifices and try not to eat certain things around the holiday season. Or what you can do, now this is a great idea, if you're into like cooking and baking, make protein like baked goods. You can literally Google like protein bar recipe or protein brownie recipe or protein cookie recipe, and there are so many of them. What I'll do is, if you message me from this video, I will send you some video suggestions from me, or I might just put them in the description of things that I've tried before and that came out really well. And there's a lot different ones out there. There's some, if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, or you have a peanut allergy, or you don't have whey protein, that's why it's kind of hard for me to give you a suggestion, because it's all going to fit your taste buds. That's pretty much a big thing about it. It's just you got to stay dedicated to the goal and understand what you have to do in order to get to where you want to get and how long of a time frame you want to get there. You got to commit to it. Write it down. Look, take a notebook, take a pen, and write it down. If you write it down, you're committing to yourself that you're going to get it done. So that's what we got to do, guys. We got to get on our grind. We got to get it done. This video is a little bit longer than my other ones, but I think this is solid information. You guys stay dedicated to your goals. Don't let the holidays become an excuse. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Drink your damn water. Eat your protein. And don't go too crazy on these holidays, guys. Let's try to take a deep breath. Let's enjoy our time with our family, not the food. The food is not a roller coaster. It's simply energy for our body. Take care, guys. Have a great day.